Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again. And this time we're going to look at a game called Crazy Kong. And this was created by a company called Kyoei and Falcon in 1981. And yeah, this is a ripoff of Donkey Kong, but Nintendo allowed this ripoff. This was designed to be distributed just for outside of the US. But there was a 3-month lag of production of Donkey Kong machines in the US because Nintendo was moving from the East Coast to the West Coast. And this opened the door for illegal distribution of Crazy Kong in the US. There is a version called Crazy Kong, and there is a version called Crazy Kong Part 2. But other companies that whose hardware Crazy Kong was made on was Joutel, Orca, Gakken, I think Alka, and it was also made on Scramble hardware. But Crazy Kong is graphically and musically completely inferior to Donkey Kong. It just sounds and looks like crap. I am just not thrilled with it. But you'll hear and see for yourself. But we'll go ahead and get started. Just the sounds are just terrible, and the graphics, the colors are just crappy. Ugh. It seems to use sound effects from Crazy Climber. Classic game from 1980. Has a little yoop, 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 yoop sound when he moves and a little hiccup sound when he jumps. Just terrible. But the graphic of Donkey Kong putting that was close. Putting out barrels is messed up. They just seem to come out of him rather than him actually reaching for the barrels and rolling them. I mean, that dynamic is there, but you don't actually see the barrels roll out of his hand. It's all kinds of messed up. So, yeah, if you've been curious as to what Crazy Kong is like, stick with Donkey Kong. This is crappy looking. Donkey Kong looks weird there, but all the levels are here from Donkey Kong. There's no sound effect for picking up the umbrella, I guess, or the other prizes. Yuck. I'd never seen this in US arcades. I've never been to a foreign arcade before, so I've never seen Crazy Kong. This in Crazy Kong, it's easy actually to jump across to that girder near the top and be able to complete this level much quicker. Yeah, the sound effects are just messed up. I do not like Crazy Kong. But yeah, the strategy to beating the elevator level is the same. Just weird colors, weird sound effects. I don't care for it at all. But yeah, the same strategies that will get you through the levels in Donkey Kong will generally work in Crazy Kong. There's a trick in Donkey Kong that might not work in Crazy Kong, where you can stand close to Donkey Kong's foot and just jump repeatedly and get 100 points per jump. I don't think that works in Crazy Kong. Ugh. God, the sounds are just awful in this game. And their Donkey Kong looks like he's radioactive. Just terrible colors and graphical differences and sound effects. But yeah, it's a good idea to get the hammer to get some more points. Oops. There, the hammer ran out. Yikes! Shoo, that was close. That barrel could have rolled down on me. But I think the same trick on Donkey Kong as in climbing up a ladder and just having your hand reach over the top of the girder keeps barrels from rolling down on you. I think that works in Crazy Kong. But we will look at Crazy Kong Part 2 a little bit later. There is a secret trick. Ah, shit. There is a secret trick on Crazy Kong 2, or Part 2, that'll allow you to skip a level, and we'll look at that later on. That jump sound effect is just messed up. Wheel! Sounds like he's hiccuping. Wheel! Just terrible. Can I jump both? Yes, I can. But yeah, the barrels just kind of appear out of Donkey Kong. And the barrels that, like, fall straight down look like they come out of his ass. It's just friggin' terrible. Well, I hope you have a happy holidays, the remainder of your holidays. Got some playoff positioning for NFL teams. I'll be definitely watching that. But once you go through all 4 different types of screens, the barrel level, the pie factory, the elevator scene, and the rivet level, that counts as one loop, which is what the L stands for, I guess. And I've gone through all of them once at least. And you see one Donkey Kong for each level that you've gotten to. Just the sound effects are just so horrible. I'm glad I never saw this. I really, if my timing was better, I could have easily made that jump over to that girder near the top. We'll look at me do that later on, I think. I have heard back in the day people talking about Crazy Kong, and they saw it somewhere in like Europe, and I had never seen it myself. And he says, how high can you try instead of how high can you get in Donkey Kong? But just like in Donkey Kong, the fireballs, whoa, will appear on the opposite side of where you're at. Yikes! And so, if you pick up the hammer, you can kill any fireballs on the left side, and then they'll reappear over on the right side. But yeah, this is just graphically poor. Yeah, I tried to see if I would get 100 points for standing close to Donkey Kong's foot. Didn't happen. Not in Crazy Kong. Wheel! Somebody get Mario a glass of water. Actually, he was known as Jumpman at this point. The sounds seem like they were played with like a little kiddy's Casio or something, or some cheapo little toy piano. Just sounds awful. Or maybe a music box. Wheel! It just sounds so awful. I can't state enough how terrible the sound effects are. Wheel! But yeah, the strategy that I'm doing works in Donkey Kong, and yeah, get the barrels and just, get the hammers at the points, or at the points that they're at, and just pick up extra points. Here's another Pie Factory level. And note that the direction of the conveyor belt will go back and forth. It'll move one way, and then like about, I don't know, 5 or 6 seconds or so later, it will move the other way. Wheel! Later on in the game, and in Donkey Kong, the fireballs will want to climb up those ladders that descend, and oftentimes you can be moving down and having to wait, and then a fireball will come up and kill you. Now we've got extra jackhammers, or whatever the hell those are, springs. Ah, shit. This game of Crazy Kong that I played was the best I've done for either Crazy Kong or Donkey Kong. And note that there's a long wait for extra elevators. That was not in Donkey Kong. Yikes, get away from me. Burn, 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 burn. Just horrible sound effects. Yikes. Yeah, you can get 100 points for getting a close call jumping away from enemy. Ooh, I can go this way. I will. But yeah, it's a good idea to run under a jackhammer and then, or whatever it is, and then wait over where the elevators descend from, and then when the coast is clear, go back up the ladder. Yeah, if I played Crazy Kong back in the day, I would have gone, what in the hell is this crap? It is just not very good. Kill some fireballs. I don't normally like to leave that last girder on the right, because this far into the game, the fireballs will be very protective of it, and it'll be really hard to get back up there. And that's a harsh lesson I learned here. See, they're moving very fast, and they're all over it, preventing me from getting back up there. Yeah, Donkey Kong looks really stupid here. I don't know why they decided to change the graphics that much. I mean, since Nintendo gave their blessing to rip off their own game. But that was only like the original licensee, Falcon. But again, since Nintendo was experiencing a lull in production of Donkey Kong machines because they were effecting their move from the East Coast to the West Coast in the U.S., demand for Donkey Kong or Crazy Kong machines skyrocketed, and they started illegally distributing it in the U.S. And there were a number of other hardware companies that the games were made on their hardware. The Crazy Kong games, like I said, Jutel, Orca, Alka, Scramble Hardware, probably some other companies too. But yeah, like I said before, the classic game Crazy Climber, a number of these sound samples are ripped off from that game. It's just some crappy sound effects. Some annoying tunes. And this is the 4th loop. I'm not doing too bad. I think the best I've done on the original Donkey Kong was like right around 80-something thousand. And I passed that on this game. So I did pretty well. I've never been great at Donkey Kong, but I know some strategies that can get me perhaps further than the average Donkey Kong player. I'm well aware of the what was the movie Fistful of Quarters, that was about the Donkey Kong champion Billy. What was his name? Crap. But I've watched it. It's kind of interesting. Yikes! Yeah, there's the conveyor belt switch. Oftentimes it's best to just say screw it and try to end the level. And you can end it pretty quickly. You just gotta get up to the top and climb up that extension ladder that collapses. Watch out for those pies. Oh crap, don't climb up the ladder after me. Oh, it didn't. Wow. It's what often happens with players who are hesitating on the ladder or are forced to wait. The fireball will catch them. Just horrible sound effects. Wheel! But yeah, this was generally more seen, I think, in Europe than US. That stupid fireball just loves to follow me. Oh, I jumped just a little too high. Or jumped from too high. And it killed me. Well, that's Crazy Kong. I'm going to put in my initials. And like I was saying, there was a Crazy Kong Part 2. And there was a little level skip in that, and I will show you that. There were some graphical differences from version to version. Some versions ended up having like gaps in the girders that you could fall through and die. And some versions have graphical differences and different music perhaps, or sound effects. But yeah, this is just not a very good game, and the fireball caught him. not very good in the demo there. Well, I'll finish up. See, that's a quick way to end the elevator level, but this is Crazy Kong Part 2 here, and now I will show you the level skip. Or no, I'll do that in just a moment here. After beating this level, then you go to Loop 2. But only on Loop 2, there it says give up. Only on Loop 2, and I guess afterwards, you can do the trick here. Note that there's no ledge extension at the top of the ladder. Here you just touch a little bit to the right, and then jump, And I fell through and I ended the level. Isn't that weird? But that was Crazy Kong, created in 1981 by Kyoei and Falcon. Well, this is Crazy Collaborating, saying thanks for watching Crazy Kong. I will catch you later in the future with another video. Y'all have a good one, everybody, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.